It's not just of the physical nature or of an emotional tie or a psychological tie. This love that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is divinely sent, the love between a man and a woman is sent by Allah after union. And out of this love grows what is more important than it, which is rahmah. Many of our brothers and sisters, especially in our contemporary times, now they think that the goal that I just want to marry someone who loves me. That isn't the goal. Rahmah and mercy that you show to one another is more important and is of a higher level than love. It is something that is more significant and more important than just love. How is it that you show rahmah and that you show love to your wife? Do you know that the relationship you have between yourself and your wife is a ruler that you can measure your relationship between yourself and Allah? If you have a spoiled, rotten relationship with your wife, it means that your relationship with Allah is lacking something. Directly. You can automatically know this. How? From the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What does he say? He says, خَيْرُكُمْ, the best of you. The best of you in relation to whom? We don't compare ourselves. I don't say I'm better than brother Shams or Rayhan in the worldly life, or that my wife is better than them, or their wife is better than mine. This isn't how we measure things. The relationship, when the Prophet says, Al-Khairiyah, you are better, it means you are better in the sight of Allah. Right? The Prophet ﷺ, this is the only measure of success. خَيْرُكُمْ, the best of you, meaning the best of you in the sight of Allah, خَيْرُكُمْ لِأَهْلِ, is the best of you in dealing with his spouse, with his family, with his wife. And to make it more clear and abundantly clear, he says, وَأَنَا خَيْرُكُمْ, and I, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad, I'm the best of you, because he is the closest to Allah, right? I am the best of you, because I am the best in dealing with my wives, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a direct relationship. If your wife hears you putting the key in the door and she's like, A'udhu billah, there's a problem. Right? 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 It's a measure. Why would she say this? Unless the way you are dealing with her is not pleasing to whom? Allah. Your relationship with Allah, you can directly measure it by your relationship with your spouse. And vice versa. So it's important that you protect this relationship. First, by choosing the right person. Right? The scholars of Islam mention to us, and there is something to what our families teach, that it's better to take from someone who is at your level, from your same culture, from your same nationality, from your same background of language. It makes things easier. In fact, from the scholars of Islam who deem it makruh, detested, that a person is to marry from outside their culture. Not that it's haram, or not that it's improper, but it makes things easier. So you choose someone. What are the criteria that you look for? We all know the famous hadith. We usually focus on one or two of the attributes, right? The Prophet ﷺ says you're all going to fire off the 4 conditions. Her beauty, her wealth, her family, and her deen. We mentioned deen really quick. The Prophet ﷺ says, when he mentions this hadith, he uses a very important word. When he talks about the final one, he says, تَرِبَتْ يَدَاكَ. If you choose the woman for her religion, your hand shall not be full of dust. You shall be successful. You won't have ruined the choice that you've made. Not that he's saying, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that this is the only reason, or that is the reason that eclipses all others. Kalla. He makes it, look at all the different segments that he covers. Wealth, beauty, physical attraction, wealth, Her family, you want her, she's from a good family. She's someone who will be good. She has a good family ties. She's someone who's noble and honorable and known in the community. And her religion. If you take from the religion, it is something that you will not be led to destruction. But why does the Prophet ﷺ mention the other things as well? Because they are the balance that you balance the religion with. Why? Because you can never be sure about a person's religion. A sister may wear hijab. Sister may seem to be of righteous character and of nobility. But there is never that assurity that what you see outwardly is found internally. So the Prophet ﷺ is also telling you that the things that you look at outwardly, try to balance them out with the internally, although you can never be sure. In another hadith he says, تَزَوَّجُ الْوَدُودِ الْوَلُودِ الْعَؤُودِ. Marry a woman who is wadud, tender, loving. She has a sense that when you see her or what you look at her family and her relationship with them, there's tenderness. It's not rigid. She's not harsh. Al-Walud, who you perceive that she will be able to carry on with you in producing offspring and be good in child rearing. Al-A'ud, who returns the good you give her with good. Look at the words of the Prophet ﷺ. Al-A'ud ay bil khayri wal naf'. Who when you give her good, she will return the good to you. One of the most destructive things in a family union is that the Muslim brother or the Muslim sister will give, and they don't get anything in return. Right? That's why the Prophet ﷺ says, Al-A'ud, who is returning to you the good that you give out to her. What does the Prophet describe as the greatest thing to be attained in the worldly life? Something you can attain. He says, Al-Mar'a As-Salihah, the righteous woman. What does he define this righteousness as being? Does he talk about salah or siyam or hajj or hijab? No. He says simply, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allati, she's the type of woman, إِذَا نَظَرَ إِلَيْهَا أَسَرَّتْهُ. She's the woman where when he looks to her, when he just observes her, she may not even notice he looked to her. When he looks to her, he's pleased. He feels this joy in his heart. He says, I've chosen well. She's a good mother. She's taking care of my children. She's loving to me. She's not combative. She's not argumentative. It's something that when he looks to her, he feels pleased. That is the righteousness that you are to be searching for. Compatibility. Compatibility between yourself and her. In that compatibility, it gives you the ability to deal with each other with mutual respect. وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. To them is that which you ask of them. To them, you give to them the thing that you are asking of them. Abdullah ibn Abbas, one of the Sahaba, before he would return home to his wife, he would make sure his clothing was sorted out, clean. He would put on musk. He would wash himself. And he would go home. His tabi'in, they say, what are you doing this for? He says, لَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. What I ask of her is what I should be willing to give her. If I expect that when I return home, that she's to be in a state of beautification, in a state of the home is clean and in order and the food is ready or whatever it may be that he may ask of her. If I expect this, I should be willing to give equal to it. The Prophet ﷺ says, Al-Mar'a khuliqat min dhilla. The woman is created from a rib. There's some crookedness. If you try to straighten it out, it breaks. So if you see in her an attribute you dislike, look to the attributes that you like to cancel it out. If you see in her something that you don't like about her, don't focus on that. Rather look to all of the other things that you do like of her, that you do wish for her, wish from her, and that you receive from her. That is the balance that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says. He says, "Istawsu bin nisa'i khayra." Treat your women folk with goodness, with dutifulness, with respect. For they were created for you as a way of enjoyment, and you were created for them as enjoyment. هُنَّ لِبَاسٌ لَكُمْ وَأَنْتُمْ لِبَاسٌ لَهُنَّ. You are garments for them, you are clothing, garments, you fulfill the same duty that a garment fulfills for them, and they are garments for you. Have you ever understood, pondered this? What are the things that a garment does for you? It shields you, it warms you, it protects you, it gives you a sense of security. It's something that you seek to protect and to wear and to maintain. That is the same parable that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a similitude to ourselves. So it's important for us to keep and maintain the righteous duties to our womenfolk. Further than this is that there will be problems, right? All of what I said, you can put it in one side and then you can put it in the other side. Ya Shaykh, no matter what you say, Brother Yahya, there's always going to be that time where she's going to press the right button at the right time and I'm just going to explode. Right? No matter what I say. That's just how it is. It's human nature. But listen and see why it is that you will explode. It's because you have not learned to pardon the mistakes. You haven't learned to just let it go. That's one of the greatest problems in our Muslim homes. The brother, he'll see something and he might not say anything. He won't say anything. And then the next day or the next week, the wife, she'll do something and he won't say anything, but he keeps it. Keeps thinking of it. Keeps it in his head. And they may be big or small things.